Hey everyone, welcome your beautiful faces back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk about the pros and cons of working in audit post-pandemic. As I've been spending close to 2 years now working post-pandemic in the audit practice, I've noticed that there's a few different things that are happening in the audit place that was different than what I was told when I was recruiting for these kind of jobs. Pro, work from home. The pandemic caused all Big Four workers to work remotely during the 2020 and 2021 busy seasons. However, as teams and companies begin to bring their workers and employees back into the office, audit seems to be one of the slow adopters in this area. This is partly due to the nature of our job. For one, our clients have barely begun to bring their own employees back into their own offices. So if the client's team's not in office, well, what makes you think they're going to want us in their office? Thus, forcing audit teams to have no choice other than to go into the company Big Four specific offices. I bring this up because Big Four offices were not designed to hold all the Big Four auditors all at once. You see, they create these offices under the assumption that you, the auditor, would be at client offices, not at these company-specific offices. Thus, allowing auditors to work from home makes it less crowded in offices and more convenient for the people to hire up, and gives them more time to decide how they're going to expand their offices or if they're going to close them down and keep the auditors working remotely. With that being said, there's a plethora of other benefits from working from home. Instead of commuting to my office, I can go to the gym. I can cook breakfast and dinner or meal prep. I could take my commuting money and put that somewhere else, like my hobbies like video games, YouTube, or other stuff I do with friends. I could go on. But you know why this is great. Con, missed learning opportunities. I would say audit is not intuitive or easy to learn. And being in the office with your teams and team members will make it more natural and easier for you to learn about your job and the client. However, since the work at home model seems to be sticking more with Big Four auditors than it does with tax or advisory, it's become harder for new associates to grasp the culture of their office and their team and to understand and learn about their job. It will take a more conceited effort by yourself and your seniors and managers to learn about you, to learn about them, and to learn about how to do your job the best, most efficient and effective way possible. It also becomes hard to ask questions and to grow rapport with one another. Pro, more efficiency. We as auditors have probably become more efficient because of the way we use technology has changed since the pandemic. But in the past 2 years, there has been a greater push to use the more shinier and more effective, efficient audit tools more now than ever. Additionally, conversations with your client and with your teammates have become more concise. When a meeting or call happens, most people just ask what they need to know so they can move on to their next task. Sure, that does mean less opportunity to grow familiarity and rapport with your clients and team members, but in an efficiency standpoint, it is good. You have basically more time to work on your work without being bothered by someone else. Quick shirt change, and now, con, less free lunches with your team. So the obvious con here is no free lunches with your team. Delicious lunches, especially if you work in those city areas. However, you're not only going to be missing out on the food, but you're also going to be missing the bonding and great opportunities to be talking with your teammates other than work. So piggybacking to our last pro before where we said we had a lot of efficiency and we're only talking about what we needed to, well now the con there is that you're not getting to know your team isn't getting to know you, and you're not getting to know them. Same thing goes with your clients. Pro, less commuting expenses. Here is one of the best things that you're going to be seeing in the post-pandemic world, is that you're going to be having more money in your pockets because you're not spending on commuting, train tickets, bus rides, and tolls. Currently, in the fall of 2022, I'm only traveling to the office about once or twice a week. Sometimes I'm consuming gasoline and paying tolls. Other days I'm traveling to the New York City office by taking the train and the subway. With the currently skyrocketing cost of gas and ticket prices, you're definitely going to be saving money in this department. Con, harder to get in touch with clients. Prior to the pandemic, you probably heard that audit consists of a lot: team interactions, client collaboration, and client-facing interactions. But unfortunately, I'm here to tell you that has changed a little bit since the pandemic. Audit has become a much more heads-down affair. This has not always been the case, and I'm not sure if this is going to remain the status quo for Big Four audit, but I can say that for Big Four audit, it's going to be staying a lot more longer than tax and advisory, just because in audit, we don't necessarily have a home office to report to all the time. As stated previously, we're normally at the client, and if the client's not going to be in the office, they're definitely not going to have us in their office. Our last pro is no late night commuting. Now, this is not to say you won't be working late, because you will. You'll just be working late in your home office. At least this is what's been happening to me during my 2020 busy season and 2021 busy season. I also anticipate this to be mostly true during the 2023 busy season and beyond. Imagine a hard day at the office, working till 2 a.m., 1 a.m., 12 a.m., and then having to drive home, only to return back to the office at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., meaning you will have to wake up at 5, 6, or 7 a.m. to catch a train, commute, do whatever you need to do to get back into the office the next day. Well, don't think too hard about it, because luckily for you and me, that's pretty much a thing of the past. Most managers sees it safer that if we're going to be working late that day, to have all their staff, their employees be working at home. This way, they don't have to waste so much time commuting. They can spend as many hours as they need to work from home to get stuff done, to work very late, and then when they have to work late, they don't have to worry about their safety because they're already at home. Less time commuting, more time working, more time to achieve your work goals. And now our last con, missing out on work travel. Depending on who you are, this might be a pro, because you might love the fact that you don't have to go by plane, by train anywhere, that you get to stay home all the time. Well, I'll speak for mostly myself that this is a con. Early on into one's career, I find it a privilege to be able to travel to different states in the United States or different countries to conduct business and work with other clients and your teammates. This has mostly stopped due to the pandemic and probably will never be reinstated because clients are finding it cheaper not having to have their auditors being shipped out to different countries or states, and KPMG find it easier just to take local auditors from that area to then do those audits instead. But here's hoping it's not completely gone, so we'll get to experience all those new experiences with your job. With that being said, that's all I got for you folks. Pros and cons of working audit post-pandemic. I really hope you found this video informative, enjoyable, and has taught you a few things about audit and maybe broken some misconceptions you probably had about it post the pandemic, because things are definitely very different now, I would say, compared to how we would market audit before the pandemic. If you guys are wondering about anything else that's probably changed since the pandemic for audit, and you guys want to ask me that question, let me know down in the comments below and I'll gladly answer and communicate with you guys. It's been a great time so far, so keep it up. Thank you for watching for this long, and I'll see you in the next video. Boom!